New Jersey has long carried a dual identity, balancing its industrial past with its reputation as a commuter-friendly state. Situated between New York City and Philadelphia, it has grown into a sprawling network of towns and residential areas that blend seamlessly together. Over the decades, the state has transformed into what many call a giant suburb, reflecting broader trends of urbanization and suburban expansion in America. Do you think proximity to major cities is the main reason New Jersey became a giant suburb? Comment 1 if you agree, 2 if you think other factors are more important. Proximity to major cities. One of the most significant factors shaping New Jersey's suburban identity is its strategic location between two of the United States' largest metropolitan areas, New York City and Philadelphia. This prime positioning has made the state an attractive option for individuals and families who want to enjoy the economic opportunities of major cities without living in crowded urban environments. Over the decades, the convenience of commuting has been enhanced by a sophisticated network of highways, bridges, tunnels, and commuter rail lines, allowing residents to travel to Manhattan or Philadelphia within an hour or two. This accessibility has encouraged the development of numerous towns and neighborhoods that cater specifically to commuters, offering a blend of residential tranquility and urban convenience. Schools, shopping centers, parks, and local businesses have grown alongside these communities, creating self-contained suburban environments that still benefit from nearby city amenities. Beyond just housing, proximity to major cities has also shaped cultural and economic patterns in New Jersey, influencing everything from dining and entertainment options to employment trends. In essence, the closeness to these metropolitan hubs has transformed New Jersey into a living bridge between urban life and suburban comfort, reinforcing its reputation as a sprawling, interconnected suburb. Decline of traditional industry. Another key factor that shaped New Jersey's transformation into a giant suburb is the decline of its traditional industries. Throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, New Jersey was a hub for manufacturing, shipping, and industrial activity, with cities like Newark, Paterson, and Camden serving as major centers of production. However, starting in the mid-20th century, many factories began closing or relocating, driven by globalization, automation, and shifts in the national economy. As these industrial jobs disappeared, urban centers faced population decline, economic stagnation, and, in some cases, rising poverty. This industrial decline created both a push and a pull effect. Many residents moved away from struggling cities in search of better living conditions, while suburban areas offered new opportunities for housing, commerce, and services. The vacant industrial land and declining urban neighborhoods also provided space and incentives for suburban expansion. Over time, as cities lost some of their economic dominance, the surrounding towns and suburbs absorbed much of the population growth, further reinforcing New Jersey's identity as a sprawling suburban landscape. The rise of the automobile and highway system. By the mid-20th century, cars had become the primary mode of transportation for American families, offering unprecedented mobility and freedom from urban constraints. In New Jersey, the construction of major highways such as the New Jersey Turnpike, the Garden State Parkway, and numerous bridges and tunnels connecting to New York City and Philadelphia made commuting faster and more convenient than ever before. This improved accessibility allowed families to live farther from city centers without sacrificing job opportunities, schools, or amenities. Suburban towns expanded rapidly along highway corridors, with residential developments, shopping centers, and local businesses emerging to serve the growing commuter population. The automobile and highway system didn't just facilitate physical movement, it reshaped lifestyles, enabling people to embrace the suburban ideal of spacious homes, private yards, and community-oriented neighborhoods, while maintaining strong connections to urban economies. Over time, this infrastructure became a backbone of New Jersey's suburban identity, linking towns into a seamless network that supports both daily life and long-term growth. White flight and suburban ideal. Another factor contributing to New Jersey's transformation into a giant suburb was the phenomenon known as white flight, closely tied to the growing appeal of the suburban ideal in post-World War II America. As urban centers faced rising population density, economic challenges, and, in some areas, social tensions, many middle-class white families chose to move to newly developed suburban communities. These suburbs offered the promise of larger homes, private yards, safer neighborhoods, and access to high-quality schools, embodying the American dream of upward mobility and family-centered living. In New Jersey, this migration was facilitated by affordable suburban housing developments, government-backed mortgage programs, and the expanding highway system that made commuting to city jobs feasible. Towns throughout the state grew rapidly as these families sought to create stable, comfortable environments away from crowded urban areas. The combined effect of white flight and the appeal of suburban life helped shape New Jersey's modern landscape, reinforcing its identity as a sprawling suburban state where residential areas, shopping centers, and local amenities form interconnected communities outside the traditional urban core. Zoning and local governance. The state is divided into 566 municipalities, each with its own government, school system, and planning regulations. This high degree of local control has allowed communities to dictate land use according to their preferences, often favoring low-density residential neighborhoods, single-family homes, and separation of commercial and industrial areas. Such zoning practices encourage the spread of suburban developments rather than dense urban growth. Communities could maintain a sense of independence while still benefiting from proximity to major cities, creating a patchwork of towns and residential areas that blend together to form the continuous suburban environment seen today. By controlling growth locally, municipalities shaped not only the physical layout of neighborhoods, but also the social and economic character of the state, reinforcing New Jersey's identity as a sprawling, interconnected suburban region. Economic transformation. New Jersey's evolution into a giant suburb was also shaped by its broader economic transformation over the past century. As traditional manufacturing and industrial jobs declined, the state gradually shifted toward a more diversified economy, including sectors such as finance, healthcare, education, and technology. Suburban towns absorbed much of this new economic activity, with office parks, commercial centers, and service industries emerging to support growing residential communities. This economic shift not only provided employment opportunities closer to home, but also reinforced the suburban lifestyle, allowing families to live, work, and shop within the same region without relying solely on urban centers. The combination of accessible city jobs and thriving local economies created a self-sustaining network of suburban communities that characterize modern New Jersey. In many ways, the state's economic transformation mirrors its physical one, reflecting how changes in industry and employment patterns directly influence settlement, land use, and community development. Cultural identity. The state is home to a diverse population, with communities reflecting a wide range of ethnic, linguistic, and cultural backgrounds. This diversity has influenced the character of towns and neighborhoods, from local festivals and cuisine to religious institutions and community organizations. At the same time, the suburban lifestyle itself, emphasizing homeownership, family-centered neighborhoods, and community participation, has helped forge a shared sense of identity among residents. In many ways, New Jersey's cultural identity is a blend of urban influences from nearby cities and the distinct character of its suburban communities. Residents enjoy access to city amenities, jobs, and entertainment, while maintaining the traditions, networks, and social cohesion of smaller towns. This combination reinforces the state's unique position as both a giant suburb and a mosaic of diverse, culturally rich communities, highlighting how social and cultural factors complement economic and geographic influences in shaping modern suburban life. Today, New Jersey stands as more than just a collection of towns and neighborhoods. It is a dynamic suburban ecosystem shaped by decades of social, economic, and infrastructural change. Its communities reflect the evolving lifestyles, ambitions, and cultural diversity of its residents, while seamlessly connecting to the broader urban landscape. The state's story highlights how human decisions, mobility, and local governance can transform geography into a living, interconnected network of suburban life. Do you think New Jersey's development into a giant suburb was inevitable, or could it have followed a different path? Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights.